Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw on third down, Love. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Throwing again, Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cleveland Farrell in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Operating from the gun, Love. He'll get this to Eckler. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, on comes the Charger kicker, Michael Badgley. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Badgley able to punch this one through. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Now Wilson to throw again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
To throw is Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. Well done from a safety to come up there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle, too.
Yeah, he actually played into his position, didn't he? He's the strong safety. That means being near the line of scrimmage, cleaning up the run game, almost an extra linebacker, and he relishes the opportunities to put a big hit on a runner.
Throwing on 2nd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Derwin James with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Here is Eckler. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to throw. Love. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
First down, Los Angeles.
Let's go. Pittsburgh. There we go. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey. We got 3 down.
Throwing on first down. Love. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. From 21 yards away. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Michael Badgley on for the extra point.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Makes the score Chargers 10, Raiders nothing. Mike Badgley to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
Here we go. Check.
Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And taken right on the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Eckler. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. 18 big yards on that one and a Charger first. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
You better be afraid of me.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
12.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, Eckler trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go now. Just the outlaw. Push him back. Push him back.
Looking to throw. Love. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. Love. This for his running back, McCoy. Oh, some strong running. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. The Chargers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me,
and the ball comes out. Love lost it. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Love. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. They come out here in the eye. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. From a yard out, the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Wilson. This is complete to Hawkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Right here.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. Room to run past midfield. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hawkins. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hawkins. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. From 21 yards away, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun, Love. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
To throw again. Love. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Jatavis Brown there on the tackle.
Jatavis Brown on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 5-yard line.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency break.
They got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, Chargers.
Check, 53 is right. I'm coming up to you.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his second touchdown on the season. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not a good return here. He is brought down at the 7-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them. Nowhere nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Green 80. Mike, 49. Good job right there.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hawkins. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Again, Wilson. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 43.
And the Raider first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Wilson going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Wilson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
12 yards on the play. Leads to third and 5.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down. It's Jacobs, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 32-yard line.
Move 15. March 49. Double dog. That's the way. Further. 49 to Mike.
Throwing is Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson now, operating from the gun. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 17-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Throwing again here, Wilson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they just...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And this one will be brought back to the 22. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, incomplete.
Wilson on the keeper. Incomplete on the throwaway. Brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the gun, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll bring them back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. It's Eckler again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The 48-yard line.
What? 380. Launch 49. Crunch time, defense.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now it's Wilson. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The Raiders on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Wilson, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Once more, here's Eckler. Big hold of the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Love. It's Williams on the catch. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
2nd and 3. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It's taken to the 26. Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And picked up by the Chargers. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Every time, keep putting that ball on the ground. That's our ball.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth-quarter lead. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come out here in the eye. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Wilson on the keeper. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, it could come back at you a long way.
Extra point right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive. Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
He's back to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. On fourth down, Love. And they're going to bring him down. Back across midfield at the 45. Cleveland Farrell. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one.
What's the run? They're running it.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger. And dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Raiders, the win for them is number 6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7.